What is going on, guys, and welcome to the Smackdown Live review for the 21st of March edition of Smackdown. Let's get right into it. And of course, on today's episode of this, on today's review, should I say, you will also be getting my exclusive opinions on AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon, which I know is going to piss some people off. But I'm going to say it because I've always said my opinion. I am not on this planet to just be a sheep. I will always say my opinion, whether I think loads of people will agree with it or not. And I urge all of you to do the same. There's no point in just saying what you think people want to hear. You've got to say what you truly believe. That's not to say that if you disagree with my opinion, I have a problem with your opinion. I just disagree with it much the same as you disagree with my opinion. It's as simple as that, really. So let's get right into the show. Kicking off the show like last week, AJ Styles. A powerful promo. The intensity in his voice. How much he's come on with the promos is just incredible. His mic work has excelled since he's come in WWE. It used to be one of his weaknesses. It's now... You don't even look at it as a weakness. You can't really see a weakness with AJ Styles any longer. You know, a passionate, driven promo, absolutely perfect. Got the point out there that he wanted to. That being that he's not sorry for beating up Shane McMahon last week. That he accepts his challenge for WrestleMania. And that he's going to do absolutely everything that he did last week all over again. He mentioned what a lot of people have been saying. You know... Is this just... Why would AJ Styles want to be in the ring with Shane McMahon? And he twisted it very, very cleverly and said, the question's not that. I want to be at WrestleMania. I want to be at the Ultimate Freeride. The question is, why does Shane McMahon think he can hang in the ring with AJ Styles? That was a fantastic way to do it. And a very, very good promo. He's put two solid, very, very good promos in a row. And... a lot of criticism, a lot of people still criticising this match, and I think people will criticise this match no matter what happens. I mean, these could put a match of the year candidate on. I still think people would moan about it. But they have done a great job, in my opinion, of getting people hyped for this match, making it feel real, making it feel personal. The story's there, and I think it's going well. Now, that's not my opinion on the feud. I'll be talking about a bit about that at the end of this review once we get to the final segment, because I think it's better to do it then. We then got American Alpha versus the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships in a stunning tag team match. The most neglected division on the whole of the SmackDown roster put on a stunning match and said to the writers of SmackDown, look, take us seriously. We are the tag team division and we are goddamn good. And this was a great match. We got a "This is awesome" chant from the crowd. Fast-paced as to be expected. The ending was ferocious. Near fall after near fall. Shenanigans after shenanigans, but good, legitimate shenanigans, not confusing ones like WWE so often relies on. Fantastic finish. Shock win for the Usos, beating Jason Jordan and Chad Gable. You expect there to be a rematch at WrestleMania, and I expect it to be absolutely brilliant. The question will be now, can they take what was a great match on SmackDown and just go that one bit better, that one bit bigger at WrestleMania? We will have to wait and see. Jordan and Gable's reign as tag team champs is over. The Usos win their first tag team championships since 2014, and a team that was so stale only about a year ago with this heel change have revolutionized themselves and are now looking like one of the hottest teams in WWE. This match will be fantastic. The Jordan Gable reign as tag team champions through no fault of their own has been disappointing, but maybe this match will be the turning point in the tag team division, and we could get a stunning match, a stunning rematch at WrestleMania 1. I really, really hope that we get. Both teams very, very good. And yeah, we then saw the total bullshit, or whatever it was called, thing. This was absolute gold. This was comedy gold. I want this to be an actual TV show. I don't watch Total Bellas or Total Divas. I mean, I do like trashy reality shows, but I mean, they just take trashy to another level. But this was great. This needs to be on the network, folks. This was fantastic. We had Miz as John Cena, and it was fucking hilarious. Recognised. Oh my god, everything about this was perfect. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Maurice as Nikki Bella was superb. Miz was superb, as to be expected. Maurice, she really excelled my expectations in these couple of segments that we saw on the show. It was fantastic to watch. Great entertainment. Really hypes the match. This feud is fantastic. Again, this was a feud a lot of people criticised. A lot of people said, I don't really want to see this. But it's going to work out to be fantastic. The only thing I worry about this is the match itself, and whether that mixed tag match might have... might kind of ruin it. I mean, you very rarely see a top fantastic mixed tag bout. You kind of wish this could be Maurice versus Nikki Bella and Cena versus Miz. But it's not. So I don't know how it's going to work. The match is the only thing I worry about. But the feud's been brilliant. It's been entertaining nonetheless. They'll put on an okay match. The question is, can they make a mixed tag bout? Which I think is a stipulation which is very difficult to make a good match from. Can they make a good match from it? If anybody can, it will be John Cena and The Miz. It's just making sure they don't make it go too gimmicky and too kind of shenanigans. What I want to see is the two, Miz and Cena to tear each other apart. Miz and Maurice to tear each other apart. We can have Miz and Maurice going at it outside the ring, smashing each other into the barricade, putting people through tables. Cena and Miz can basically carry the actual official match. We can have... there's so many ways you could do this. Hopefully they get the opportunity to showcase that and to do it well. And I hope, post-WrestleMania, we get Miz and Cena one-on-one, because this is a feud I really want to see one-on-one as well. But what a great match. They're bringing in a lot of stuff that people talk about Cena and talk about Nikki Bella. They're bringing that realness into SmackDown. I saw a tweet the other day that said one of the big reasons why SmackDown's better than Monday Night Raw is because SmackDown feels real. They bring in the real elements to the show. They've done it since basically the start and since the brand split. They've brought in realness to this feud. Not just this feud, but the show as well. Fantastic. Great work from Maurice. Great work from Miz. A very, very creative way to advance this feud, and I loved it. If you didn't see this segment, go check it out. I would have thought some people won't like this, but I thought it was great. And it's my review, so that's all that matters. Baron Corbin versus Randy Orton, a match we have never ever seen before. I've always been high on Baron Corbin, you guys have known that. I think he's a great guy in the ring. I think he's a fantastic character. He's fantastic on the mic. We haven't necessarily seen that yet, but trust me, he's fantastic on the mic. He can move like an absolute monster as well. He looks like a monster. Baron Corbin, Braun Strowman is a dream match that I want to see, folks. But this was something that was very, very good. And I was sitting here thinking to myself, look, in 2 weeks' time, Baron Corbin could be the IC champion and Randy Orton could be the world champion. And these could be the two singles champions of SmackDown. And you wouldn't feel like that was a bad thing. I mean, I don't personally want Randy Orton to beat Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. I do want Corbin to beat Dean Ambrose. But I just thought to myself, these are up there with the best. This was a good match. Nothing spectacular, a good match. They didn't have to steal the show, but a very solid match, a SmackDown quality match. Great bout. And I thought the distraction finish was a good way to go. Some people will not like that, but I think it was a good way to go. What I worried about was the fact that Corbin was going to get beat before his match against Ambrose. As it is, Ambrose caused a distraction. Corbin did get beat, but Corbin looked very, very strong because it was off the distraction. He looked strong anyway. Orton picking up the RKO. Orton with a big win before WrestleMania, but Corbin not losing that momentum either. And what I would like to see from Ambrose and Corbin next week is a physical altercation. And I want to see their match as a street fight. Ambrose versus Lesnar last year was a street fight, and Ambrose said in interviews he didn't get to do some of the stuff he wanted to do because Brock Lesnar didn't want to do it. Corbin Ambrose street fight. Let Ambrose do what he wanted to do last year but couldn't do last year. Let Corbin do what he probably wants to do as well. And I think you're going to get yourself a legitimate a legitimate match that could legitimately steal the show. Great feud, plodding along very, very nicely. You know, I always look at stuff as a graph, feuds. And what's a good graph is that when the feud starts, it's down kind of at the bottom corner, right? This is a line graph, okay? And this is the hype. How much you're looking forward to the match, how hot the feud is. And a good feud goes up in a diagonal line from, obviously at the start, not a lot, to really, really hot. And I think why I'm really looking forward to WrestleMania is so many feuds are going that way. You know, it's very, very hard to have a feud that peaks straight away as a really hot feud and stays there. It's almost impossible. So it needs to start towards the bottom or towards the middle and go up. And, you know, Ambrose, Baron Corbin, I think started, you know, in the middle, but has gone up consistently, and the hype's getting more and more and more. Are we right at that top yet? Am I thinking, oh my God, I can't actually wait to see this match? No, but they could do that next week. And the way they do that is have these go on an absolutely massive brawl, make their match a street fight. Bang, it's right up where you want it to be. It's in that top corner of real big, hot feud. Everybody wants to see it, and that'll work perfectly. This is why I never worry with a couple of weeks to go before a show, perhaps one more show, the penultimate show before the penultimate show, if you see what I'm saying, or the penultimate show before WrestleMania. Is that the right penultimate show before the last show before WrestleMania? You kind of get what I mean. This show, I don't mind if feuds aren't in that top right-hand corner, if we want to call it, because I always think to myself, they've got a week to bring it to that thing. And the problem is, if you get there too soon, to maintain the hotness in a feud is very, very difficult. You want a feud to peak the week of the show. You want the feud to peak next week. That's when you really want it to peak. The anticipation, the adrenaline, the excitement for the match, you want it to peak next week. You don't want it to peak too soon. And I think Ambrose and Corbin has the ability to peak next week. Miz and Cena's feud at the moment has basically peaked and been hot the whole way through. Can they maintain it yet next week? 100%. Wyatt Orton, I think that's been one that's kind of wobbled a little bit. I think it's when Orton burnt down the... I mean, this feud's been gone on for so long. So, I mean, but if we just go for the WrestleMania build, when he burnt down the house, it was right up there. They then had a couple of weeks of nothing, so it kind of went down. But it's come right back up again tonight, and we'll see whether it can get to that next level next week. Shane O'Mac, AJ Styles, we'll talk about the Women's Championship match. As of yet, has struggled to get going. But a good match between Corbin and Orton going back to it. Nice distraction by Ambrose coming on the forklift. And, Orton getting the win. Corbin looking valiant in defeat. And it looks as if we're getting Corbin versus Ambrose. We are at WrestleMania for the IC title. It's gonna be good. Following that, we had a backstage segment. Randy Orton being interviewed by Renee Young. And the lights flickered. And no, it's not The Undertaker. It is Bray Wyatt and his masked goats. They are back. They are here. And they beat up Randy Orton. Bray Wyatt cutting a promo on Randy Orton saying, I am stronger now that Sister Abigail is with me. My weakness was Sister Abigail. But my weakness has turned into my biggest strength. And I tell you what, that is a scary, scary thought. Wyatt's on fire. He has to be favourite for WrestleMania. Orton's going to have to put the match of his life on to beat Bray Wyatt. What a match this is going to be. A fantastic segment again. As I say, this feud kind of went into neutral after a really, really hot start, but it's right back into that hot category this week, and we are hopefully going to see something happen next week, something creative, something a little bit new, and hopefully we see an intense new side to Bray Wyatt, a darker side from Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania, and hopefully he can beat Randy Orton and stay as the WWE champion. But a great feud continues to get better. Fantastic segment, and I personally cannot wait for their match at WrestleMania. We then saw John Cena versus Fandango, and it reminded me of when Fandango beat Chris Jericho at WrestleMania 29, 28, I can't honestly remember. Massive shock. Nobody knew what to... It was absolutely shocking, and how the mighty have fallen. But yeah, we saw Tyler Breeze, who was Breezy Bella or something like that. That was funny. And then we saw, not a mixed tag match, but Cena versus Fandango very, very quickly. It ended a squash match, basically a bit of a warm-up match for Cena and Nikki Bella. They both hit kind of Nikki Bella didn't hit an AA, but she kind of hit, I don't know what you'd call it, but they both kind of hit an AA type thing at the same time. Then both put them in the SDF. And, Cena getting the victory, no surprise there. They march on. Be interested to see what happens next week. We've already spoke about The Miz and John Cena and Maurice and Nikki Bella and their feud, so we won't continue to talk about it anymore. But not a bad segment. Nothing, to get too excited about. Moving on to Becky Lynch versus... Who did she face? I'm pretty sure it's Carmella. I'm virtually 100% sure it's Carmella. And look, this match was very, very quick. Didn't last particularly long, granted. That said, I think this did an okay job. The interference came very, very quickly from Natalya. And basically, bang. The interference came. And everybody, all the women that are in this match currently came out to the ring, had a little bit of a brawl. Yes, it was an easy way to go, but I think it was okay. They do need to do something next week with this, whether it be make it a ladder match, whether it be announce that Naomi's going to be in the match. If she's cleared, if she's not, she's not. They need to do something here, because at the moment this feud really, there's not a lot of excitement for it. That said, this wasn't a bad segment. I think it kept the feud in neutral. It certainly didn't lower my excitement, but it didn't really increase it. Moving on then to the last part of the show. Shane McMahon coming out, calling out AJ Styles, and oh boy, did AJ Styles respond, and he looked like he was about to say sorry to Mr. Shane McMahon. But Shane McMahon hit him with a couple of punches, and a brawl ensued, which ended with Shane O'Mac jumping from the top rope onto Dean Ambrose. Let's forget that he kind of did miss him, and putting him through a solid steel table as Grim from Grim's Toy Show would say. What a fantastic way to close the show. And look, it's time for me to give my opinion on AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon. So let's get right in to that. But first, let's quickly just talk about SmackDown. A great show. Really enjoyable show. Very, very little filler. Again, I think it's better than Raw, because they don't have to put filler in. Most storylines are on the up, not the down, not even in neutral. Couple in neutral, literally one. But yeah, very, very good show. Advanced a lot of storylines. We saw a couple of good one good match, one fantastic match. And yeah, my excitement for WrestleMania has increased after watching the show, and that's a good thing. And it'll be interesting to see what they do on the go-home show. But I'm sure SmackDown will put on a great go-home show. The big question is, will Raw put on a good go-home show? It has the absolute potential to put on a stunning show. But it's still 50-50, whereas I'm sure SmackDown will put on a very good show. But let's talk about Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles. A lot of people don't like it. Now, I'm gonna say right now, I'm not like, fucking jumping for joy about this match. I'm not like, yeah, Styles, Shane McMahon, can't wait. I love AJ Styles. I think he's great. He's probably one of my favourite superstars on the roster at the moment. You've got Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, AJ Styles. Probably my top three at the moment. Not going to lie to you. Kevin Owens has been there for a fucking donkeys. But yeah, they're probably my top three, if I'm being honest with you at the moment. Look, people say it's a waste of AJ Styles. Ultimately, there's not a lot that was on the tables for AJ Styles. He wasn't in the WWE Championship picture. There wasn't a lot that he really could do. So it was either this match or basically he's not really going to be on the show. And I don't really think... The problem is I think basically, people would have been disappointed with whatever match AJ Styles would have put in if it wouldn't have been the WWE title match. Because ultimately, he's had such a great year that it is almost, he deserves to be in the main event of WrestleMania. It hasn't worked out booking-wise that way. And that's just something we've got to accept. There's so much talent on the show. There's probably 10 people that I probably think deserve to main event WrestleMania this year. And only 2 people are going to be able to do that. And it might still not be Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. It's more than likely going to be Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. And of course I have my opinions on that. And you guys probably do too, and they're valid. But you can't have, if there's 10 people that need to main event the show, unless you're going to do a 10-man match, which is just going to be ridiculous and stupid, there's no way of each and every one main eventing the show. It's about giving them an important match. And I think this is a good way. I don't think this is necessarily a waste of AJ Styles. In hindsight, if they could have booked something for AJ Styles better, should they have done? Yes. But story-wise, this makes sense. Styles has been getting a bad end of the bargain on SmackDown, not being treated great by Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon for a long, long time, and he's come to breaking point. Orton gave up his Royal Rumble, gave up the WrestleMania match. Styles, in the Battle Royal, shenanigans happened. They then had to go into Luke Harper and AJ Styles had to face each other the following week. Styles won. There, he's booked his ticket to WrestleMania. But no, Orton comes back in the fray, and AJ Styles has got to once again earn his match that he's already earned. So, and he loses. And there's shenanigans to what, So I totally think the story's there. The story is there. So I don't personally think that you can legitimately criticise this feud from a story from a storyline perspective, because I think the story is there, and to criticise it for its story would be kind of dumb, because the story is good. So, what's the next criticism that I keep hearing? The fact that AJ Styles deserves better. And I don't necessarily disagree. I'd love AJ Styles to be in the main event. I think he probably deserves it, but it just hasn't worked out that way. At the end of the day, it just hasn't worked out that way. Does he deserve better? Shane McMahon is a legend of this business. He has put on some great matches in his time. He has done and created some of the most breathtaking moments in WWE history. I think it's not a waste of AJ Styles. And I'll tell you why. The story is there. The story's there. Shane McMahon's no pushover. Is he a stunning in-ring competitor? No. Can he hang with AJ Styles in the ring? No. But not many people can. Not many people can. And what I would ask people is, if you don't want Shane McMahon, and if you don't think that AJ Styles or Shane McMahon deserves AJ Styles, you think it's a step down for AJ Styles, what would you do? Who would you have AJ Styles face at WrestleMania? And look, I'm sure you'll give me ideas, and that's great. I'm willing to hear it. But I don't think there's that many options. Now, Styles, McMahon will surprise you. I'm going to put it out there. It's going to surprise you. It'll be a good match. It'll be a very good match. Styles will carry the match to a certain extent, but I think McMahon can hold his own to a certain extent. Angle McMahon, a match that happened, I know, a lot of years ago, but was a great match. This could be a very decent match. Styles will make it a very good match. It will surprise a few. It will be a stunning match at WrestleMania. I genuinely think that. Is it going to steal the show? Probably not. It has the potential to, but it probably won't. Shane McMahon versus Undertaker last year wasn't a horrific. It wasn't great, but it wasn't horrific. And Undertaker, I don't think, is capable of carrying a match anymore. Put Styles in with Shane McMahon. Styles, we know, can carry a match and make it decent with anybody. So, the match-wise, I'm not worried about. The story's there. The match will be decent. I think it will surprise a lot of people. So, it is really that waste of AJ Styles. Now, a lot of people say, look, the story's there. I get that. But why not have Shane McMahon pick an opponent for AJ Styles? Why not do Shinsuke Nakamura? I love Shinsuke Nakamura, but I'll tell you why I hate that opinion. Well, not that opinion, but I hate that option absolutely massively. Shinsuke Nakamura is a big friggin' deal. AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura is fucking huge. When they face each other for the first time in WWE, I want it to be about AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. I don't want it to be about AJ Styles and Shane McMahon's bitch, Shinsuke Nakamura. Make AJ Styles and Nakamura the legitimate... I mean, the match is going to be match of the year when it happens, folks. That's a given. But give it a friggin' story that it deserves. Make sure there is fucking anger and intensity and hatred from both sides. Throw the title in, perhaps, and you've got yourself legitimately, maybe at next year's WrestleMania, the potential to be the greatest WrestleMania main event in history. I still, to this day, don't think we'll ever eclipse Shawn Michaels and Undertaker at WrestleMania 25 / WrestleMania 26. Both their matches were insane. I don't think we'll ever eclipse that at WrestleMania. But if you want to try and eclipse it, Styles, Nakamura for the title, them two in a heated, hate-filled feud, you have a big friggin' chance. So don't waste Styles, Nakamura with a story that is still Styles, Shane McMahon. Because if AJ Styles faces somebody who Shane McMahon has picked at WrestleMania, the person who Shane McMahon picks is irrelevant. Because the story is still Styles and Shane McMahon. They're just Shane McMahon's bitch. It's as simple as that. I don't want Nakamura to be Shane McMahon's bitch. Yes, the match would be stunning. Yes, the match would steal the show 100%. But don't goddamn waste this. Hold this for a WrestleMania. Make this feud about Styles and Nakamura. Make them steal the goddamn show, whether you do it at SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, or next year's WrestleMania. And make this epic. Don't waste Nakamura on being Shane McMahon's bitch and just putting him in because you don't want Shane McMahon to face AJ Styles. That would be a terrible option. And I'm so glad WWE hasn't gone with it. Now, yes, you could pick somebody else, but I use Nakamura because that's the name I hear going around a lot. Now, what you could have done is go back 3 months and start Nakamura versus Styles program. Have it for the title, or don't have it for the title, just have it with them hating each other and wanting to kill each other and bringing in the stuff from New Japan, bringing that all in and making it about Styles, Nakamura, forget Shane McMahon, he's not on the card, and we don't get all this Styles, Shane shenanigans. Absolutely fine. Don't have a problem with that. Then Styles, Nakamura, fucking fantastic. But we've got to accept where we are. We've got to accept we are at the point of Shane McMahon, AJ Styles. And as soon as they decided to do the whole Styles getting screwed over, this storyline was the only one that made sense. This match at WrestleMania was the only one that made sense. This match will surprise a lot of people. I'm going to say that right now. Now, you can think I'm talking absolute nonsense. You can think that everything I've just said is a complete load of shit and disagree 100%. But the one thing I ask you to do is this is one match on the WrestleMania card. WrestleMania is a fantastic show. Every year, I mean, even the bad WrestleManias, there's still enjoyable moments. Don't let one match that you don't want to see spoil the rest of the show. And just go. All I ask is for people to go in to Styles and the Shane McMahon match with an open mind. I'm doing it with Roman Reigns at the moment, and things are a lot better. Things are a lot better. I don't like Roman Reigns still, but I'm trying to be with WWE more open-minded. From a business sense, AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon has money. Money written over it. This is a match I'm looking forward to. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm looking forward to this match. Is it one of my most hyped matches for WrestleMania? No. But is it up there? Yes. It's a great card. The WrestleMania card is fantastic. It's going to be a great show. Next week, we start WrestleMania week on this channel. there's my opinions on AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon. I think this match is best for business. I think it's not a waste of AJ Styles. I think the match will surprise many. I think the story has been great. I think they had a lot of criticism last week and this week. They have managed to, and some people, and I know that some of the people are going to be watching. I know KW Tribute. I know you don't like this storyline, and I totally understand your opinion. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I totally respect it. And there's other people on Snapchat who really hate this feud. And again, you'll probably all have a go at me, and I totally understand it. And I don't mean this in any way to offend you guys, what I'm about to say. But I think those that were willing, and please don't get offended with my following statement, but those that were willing to have an open mind about Styles and Shane McMahon and their feud over the last 2 weeks have been rewarded, because they've seen this story's good. And although, yeah, I'm a little bit sceptical about the match, and it might be a little bit of a poor match, I'm pretty confident Styles can carry him through it, but I'm just a little bit unsure. I think those people have been rewarded with some great storytelling and are starting to get hyped for this match. The people, and again, please don't take it as an offensive comment, I don't mean it in this way, who have a closed mind on AJ Styles and Shane McMahon and have gone, look, hate this match, hate everything about it, hate the feud, and nothing's going to change it. Doesn't matter to me. If it's a match, I don't care. And they've had a closed mind and are not willing to have an open mind about this match, then I really don't think there's anything that they could do that could make some people enjoy this match. So at the end of the day, they've just got to accept that, and they've just got to do what they keep doing now and make that story for the people that are going to be open-minded about this match. And again, please don't take us offensive. There's nothing wrong with being closed-minded about a match before. I've been closed-minded about a match before and said, I don't give a fuck. They could do fucking anything, and I don't give a shit about the match. Exactly what I did last year with Roman Reigns and Triple H. And in the end, I was right, because the match sucked, the storyline sucked. Look, I think this is going to be good. That's why I'm being open-minded about it. You know, because I'm willing to be open-minded. I've been closed-minded before, and I've been right, and I've been closed-minded before, and I've been surprised. There's no specific problem. We're all individuals. We all watch the show. You know, we spend our time watching the show, writing about it on Twitter, writing about it on social media. We have every right to have our opinion on the show. You have every right to hate Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles. Much the same as I have every right to love, not that I do love it, but are enjoying AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon. So you have every right. But all I ask, and again, you don't have to oblige by this, you don't have to go into it with an open mind, but just be open-minded about it. Just see, because I didn't like it. When I first heard about it, I thought, this is fucking horrific. But being open-minded about it the last couple of weeks and going, you know what? I'm just going to sit back. I'm going to be that 11-year-old fan again, and I'm just going to watch it. And I got myself a little bit excited. I got myself a little bit pumped for it. Now, I know that opinion's not going to be agreed by many, and I know a lot of you are going to disagree with me. Totally respect that. And don't feel like this is, shots at anyone, or I'm firing shots at anybody specifically who hates this match. I'm not. As I say, I know KWE absolutely hates this match. He just tweeted me saying, I hate this match even more after watching SmackDown. I totally get that. This isn't shots at him. This isn't shots at the people on Snapchat that hate the match too. There are some people that do like the match. I mean, one of my mates hates the idea of Undertaker Roman Reigns. I love it. You know, that's the great thing though in wrestling. It's great to disagree. You know, and I'm really trying over the next. I've done it recently, and I'm really enjoying WWE at the moment. Is watching WWE as a fan. You know, not taking it all too seriously, and just having fun while watching it, and not thinking about stuff so seriously. Maybe I do when I come on the reviews, but while I'm watching it, I don't. And it's so much better to do it that way. It really, really is. We're going to end it here. There's my thoughts on Shane O'Mac versus AJ Styles. As I say, no shots. I'm not firing shots at anybody. I have no problem if you hate the idea of the match. All I'm saying is give it a go. Just give it a chance at WrestleMania and just see. And maybe, just maybe, it will surprise you. Maybe it won't. Maybe I'm completely wrong and it's an absolute shit fest of a match. And I have to come on here on the review late at night when I do the review for WrestleMania and go, look, folks, I was wrong. This was terrible. And look, I'll put my hands up and go, I was fucking wrong. This was horrific. I think I'm going to be wrong. I think I'm going to be wrong. I think I'm going to be right. Of course I think I'm going to be right. Otherwise, why the fuck would I think you're not going to think wrong? But you get what I mean. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see. WrestleMania only a week on Sunday. It's WrestleMania season. MrWWEcam's channel is transforming into WrestleMania week. And if you're worried about and thinking about what sort of content's going to come on this channel next week, I'm going to leave it as a surprise. And that's mainly because at the moment, I'm not even 100% sure what I'm going to do next week. But there's going to be a video every single frigging day. We're going to get Raw previews, Raw reviews, Smackdown previews, Smackdown reviews. In-depth previews to the matches. Massive long reviews. I'll try and do a big review show with some of my mates as well. It's going to be good. There'll be lots of other stuff as well. If you missed my WrestleMania Dream card, go check it out as well. But yeah, lots to look forward to. Make sure you leave your thoughts down in the comments below or on Snapchat. Really do appreciate the people support me on Snapchat through WWE, and a lot of you don't have an account, so you can't comment on the actual thing. But however you respond to me, I always enjoy reading your thoughts and your opinions. As I say, don't feel like the AJ Styles Shane McMahon was shots at anyone. It honestly wasn't. I thank you all guys so much for the support that you give me on this channel and over YouTube in general. From the bottom of my heart, it means the world to me. I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed it, please leave a like. And I'll be back next week for WrestleMania week. A week on Sunday, folks. It's the day, the night that wrestling fans dream of. It's our night. It's the biggest show of the year. It's WrestleMania. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.